Yo, what's going on, dudes? HK10 here with a brand new video for you guys, and in today's video, we're going to be taking on this week's boss balloon, the Lich boss. So I thought this week's boss was going to be pretty interesting because there's a couple of modifiers that should make this boss pretty difficult. So to begin with, we have the tack shooter, the heli pilot, the Dartling gunner, as well as we have the druid band. So these are a lot of towers that I usually rely on for beating the boss, but the boss does have reduced health, but the boss is a lot faster. So we're going to be dealing with a speedy boy here, so hopefully we can come up with a solid strategy for beating this week's boss. Also, on top of that, our boy Benjamin is going to be banned this week as well, so I think we may end up doing a no hero boss. But then again, I'll go ahead and choose Adora as my hero, just in case I end up like wanting to use my hero and stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So the first thing that we want to start off with is, of course, we want to start off with our free dart monkey. And then let's go ahead and buy ourselves a banana farmer, or a banana farm. So it's always good if we don't have Ben to like start off with a banana farm as soon as you possibly can. That way you can start making a bunch of extra cash. I mean, just because we don't have Ben, it's not gonna, or we're not gonna be able to make as much money as we usually do whenever we play up against the bosses, but we still should be able to make quite a bit of money. Now, I'm gonna try to grab 2 banana farms before I grab a little bit more of a defense. And then I think for a little bit more of a defense, what I want to do, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just going to upgrade my dart monkey. Now, unfortunately, the dart monkey is already starting to fall behind pretty hard. Man, like, I've been using the merchantman strategy quite a bit. I almost want to go for a merchantman, but I don't think that's going to be the right call. Let's go ahead. We'll grab ourselves quick shots, then we'll grab very quick shots, and let's just go ahead and upgrade our dart monkey a little bit. But now that we've upgraded this dart monkey up to a very quick shots, let's go ahead and grab ourselves another farm. Man, these balloons are just like giving our dart monkey such a hard time. I think I may end up having to go for the engineer monkey again, because I think the engineer monkey might be the only tower that's going to end up helping us out here. Because the engineer monkey is definitely a really solid tower to use in boss events. But before we end up doing that, I do want to grab one more farm. Let me see. So we're down to 115 lives. So this definitely isn't going to work on the elite boss. So instead of upgrading our dart monkey, I think when I do elite, I'm just going to end up grabbing myself an engineer monkey right off the bat, right? So I think it's about time we buy our engineer. So I was going to hold off a couple more rounds to try and get a little bit more money, but I don't think we're going to be able to last unless I buy this engineer. So I think when I do elite, instead of upgrading the dart monkey, I think it's a better investment just to upgrade the engineer, right? So let's go ahead and buy double guns. And now that we have double guns, we'll go ahead and start going for all of our farms. Now, I'm not exactly sure, like, why our towers are struggling so hard. Like, I know this probably isn't, like, the best position for our engineer monkey or our dart monkey, but it should still be fine. All right, so there is our second banana farm in round 16. Dude, we are going to be lacking so hard on money. Like, I'm almost wondering if it would be a good idea just to go ahead and restart this. Because round 18, we only have 3 farms. This is so sketchy. Now, luckily for us, this boss shouldn't be too bad because it does have a decreased health. But then again, it is the Lich, so it should be a pretty fast boss as well. The only thing I'm worried about are going to be the ethereal balloon as well as the reinforced Moab balloons. And we're still having balloons that keep on like slipping by our engineers. So I think I need to upgrade to larger service area to give our engineer monkey a little bit more time to hit these balloons. And then because we're struggling with our farming a little bit, I think I'm going to have to go back to the original farming method where instead of going for like 6 farms, we just go for 5. And then we instantly start going for our first marketplace. I think that's like the only thing that we're going to be able to do, right? Yeah, so I was going to grab myself a marketplace, but I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and grab myself the Owl Alchemist, which led to gold. And then we'll also grab a larger service potion, or larger potions, and then we'll swap it over to targeting strong to make a little bit of extra cash. Because we need all the money that we can get right now. Like, I definitely don't even think we'll be able to get our balloon trap before we need to stop our farming. Like, this is actually really bad. All right, and then on rounds 33, we need to go ahead and upgrade our Dart Monkey up to crossbow. That way we can deal with the camel white balloons. And then we need to go ahead and buy the rest of our marketplaces. So as long as we can get these last few banana farms upgraded to marketplaces, we shouldn't be too bad. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up going for a spike factory as well as probably a Moab assassin. And then maybe a sticky bomb, but I think the sticky bomb might be a little bit too much. All right, so round 36 is so far so good. Well, I say so far so good, but it's actually pretty bad. Let me go ahead and buy this last marketplace, and then we need to go ahead and try to save up as much money as we can before round 40. Now, like I was saying, I'm going to be going for a spike factory here. And the spike factory is going to be pretty expensive, but it's going to allow us to deal with like the reinforced balloons, as well as it's going to help us out a lot up against the ethereal balloon as well. Now, I'll probably end up having to sell like 1 or 2 of my marketplaces, but there's not really too much that we can do, right? So let me go ahead and turn off the auto start really quick. We'll go ahead and like I was saying, we'll probably end up selling our marketplaces in order to buy like a sticky bomb and a Moab assassin. All right, so let's go ahead and sell 2 of our marketplaces. We'll grab a white hot spikes. And then let's go ahead and grab ourselves the bomb shooter, and then we'll upgrade it up to Moab assassin. And then we'll also probably grab ourselves maybe like a sticky bomb just to give us a little bit more damage. And then hopefully this ends up working out. All right, so I think I'm gonna have to grab myself like another tower in the back here because I am a little bit worried about like Moab balloons. Because I think the Moab balloons are going to end up giving us a little bit of a hard time. So, let me see. Dude, like, this is so sketchy. Let me go ahead and activate this, and then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves some more glaives in the very back. And then as long as... Oh, dude, we're so close to beating the boss. As soon as we beat the boss, we need to go ahead and... Oh, my goodness, dude. Can we get this off a cooldown before that reinforced Moab balloon hits? There we go. And perfect. Oh, my goodness. That was so sketchy. So, let me go ahead... we'll sell this, and then we'll go ahead and buy ourselves a sharpshooter. We'll go ahead and sell both of these. We'll grab ourselves a Dragon's Breath Wizard Monkey, as well as we'll grab ourselves an Alchemist as well. Or, yeah, an Alchemist as well. Then hopefully this ends up being enough. So let's go ahead. We'll buy ourselves our first BRF. And then we'll probably end up having to sell a couple of our farms in order to grab this BRF. And then we should be good after this, hopefully. There's our BRF. Now let's go ahead and buy ourselves a Engineer Monkey. And then with this Engineer Monkey, we're going to be upgrading it up to Overclock, and that way we can make a little bit of extra money from our BRF. Because the Overclock is definitely going to be a better investment, hopefully. And then it looks like we're also going to need a little bit more of a defense in the back as well. So let's go ahead. We'll grab ourselves a Dart Monkey, and then we'll upgrade it up to Sharpshooter just to give us a little bit more popping power. I know it's probably not the best idea to like overinvest in our defense like this. It's just like we just had a couple of balloons like almost slip by us or slip by our defense. So it's better to overspend on a defense than end up losing, right? So man, we are going to be struggling so hard for cash. And honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to do for the tier 2 boss. Because the druid's banned, so we're not going to be able to go for the Avatar of Wrath, and so is the Dartling Gunner. Maybe we'll have to like try to go for a big boy tower, like maybe somewhere in the ballpark of, oh, I don't even know, maybe like the Wizard Monkey, the Arcane Spike. But then again, I don't even know if the Arcane Spike is going to be a good investment. Man, I knew I should have restarted when our Dart Monkey was struggling up against the balloons, and I upgraded the Dart Monkey instead of buying a Engineer. Now for Elite, we definitely need to farm way harder. On top of that, we need to get the balloon trap, so we need to make sure that we don't overspend on our defense. And instead of upgrading the Dart Monkey like I mentioned, we definitely should have bought the Engineer instead. Because if we would have bought the Engineer, then we would have been able to save a little bit of money. We could have bought another farm much sooner. Now, I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to go with like a Moab Eliminator, and then maybe I'll grab myself like a Elite Defender, and then hopefully the Elite Defender does well. Because it's a pretty solid and cheap defense, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'll also grab myself like a Spike Factory and upgrade it to the middle pathway, and hopefully that ends up helping us out as well. All right, so for the tier 2, the elite defender should end up working out pretty well. I just don't know what else I want to put with it. I think I definitely want to grab myself a spike factory, and I want to upgrade the spike factory up to spike storm, but we also need a tower that's going to allow us to deal with round 63 as well. And I can't believe I almost forgot to get rid of the alchemist as well. Plus, I need to turn this off. That way it's not buffing the Lich. And then I think this should be enough for the tier 2 boss. If it's not, then we're gonna have to try to come up with something a little bit different. But I think I also want to grab myself like a recursive cluster too. So first thing, we need to grab ourselves the recursive cluster as soon as we have enough money. That way we have a defense for round 63. And then I shouldn't have activated that so soon, but it's fine because it ended up working out for us. I also want to grab myself another one of these spike storms though. And man, I really hope the elite defender has enough pizzazz to deal with the boss guys, because I'm still really worried about it. And oh good, this is so sketchy. Okay, so we have both of our abilities off of cooldown. Let's go ahead and activate one of our spike factories. One of the spike factories ended up working out really well. Let's go ahead and activate a second spike factory. And you know what? I think the elite defender is not going to be the play. I think the tower that I need to go for is I need to go for a oh no, that ended up working. It was just really sketchy. Let's go ahead and sell both of those. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves the banana research facility, and then we'll also grab ourselves the crossbow master. That way we have enough popping power at the start of the map. And then let's also start going for a couple more BRFs. After we buy this BRF, we'll go ahead and we'll start saving for the banana central. Man, this is so sketchy, guys. Now I know what we did for tier 2, but I'm not exactly sure what we should do for tier 3. Like tier 3 is going to be a little bit more sketchy. If we can afford to buy the Apex for tier 3, then I'm not going to be worried about the rest of the game. But what I've done so far definitely isn't going to work up against Elite. Now, Elite, we're definitely going to have to come up with a little bit more of a stable plan, right? If we can sell these for 20,000, it's going to cost us 100,000 for the Banana Central. Now, hopefully this ends up being worth it, right? All right, so now that we're at 65,000, we'll sell 2 of our farms, we'll buy the Banana Central, and then we'll start going for more BRFs all the way up until round, we'll say round 76, because that's when I usually stop farming for boss events, and it usually ends up working out pretty well. And before you guys say anything, I know this strategy is so crap, and it all stemmed from upgrading my Dart Monkey instead of upgrading my engineer. And that just goes to show you guys how making one simple mistake can instantly make your boss event way harder. So I know I said I was going to stop farming on round 76, but I'm going to go ahead and change it up, and I'm going to stop farming on round 75. And then we're going to start going for our Apex, because as long as we can get our Apex, I don't have to worry about losing. Well, I say that, but I'm probably still going to find a way to mess this up, right? Now, we'll probably end up having to grab ourselves some flavored trades, because we may end up needing to sell a couple of our BRFs in order to buy our Apex. But that's going to be the last thing that we do. But now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and buy myself 20 Dart Monkeys. And I want to upgrade all 20 of these Dart Monkeys up to 220s. That way we can go ahead and get a higher paragon degree on our Apex. Because with our farming so far, there's no way that we're going to be able to do what we did in the last boss event, where we were able to pick and choose which paragons we wanted to use, right? All right, so we have all 20 of our Dart Monkeys. Now let's go ahead and buy ourselves the flavored trades. That way when we sell our farms, we can go ahead and get a little bit more money back. All right, round 79, let's go ahead and sell these farms. 150, let's go ahead and sell a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade this one up to the Apex, and we'll sacrifice the maximum amount of money that we can. And it should be a decently high paragon degree. Perfect. So it's paragon degree 37. Okay, now I'm feeling much better. So let's go ahead and start grabbing start going for some more BRFs. Even though we won, it still sketched me out so far, or so so bad that the boss made it as far as it did. All right, so round 87, I ended up buying myself a pretty beefy monkey oplips just to make a little bit of extra cash. That way we have a chance of salvaging this boss run. Like, we're still good at because we have the apex, but I don't know how the apex is going to do up against the tier 4 and tier 5 boss. So I think it's a better investment to grab the monkey oplips. That way we can hopefully buy ourselves a little bit of a better defense. All right, so round 93, we're going to go ahead and call it here for our defense. We have a bunch of farms. The main reason I'm calling it is because I want to start going for the glaive dominus, because I was thinking about it, and I think the glaive dominus should be a perfect paragon for the tier 4 boss. It'll end up helping out our apex a ton. Plus, we need a ton of money for the apex. So now we also want to grab ourselves 20 boomerang monkeys. And we want to do the same thing that we did for the apex. So similar with what we did for the apex, we're going to be upgrading all of these boomerang monkeys up to 220s. And this is just to give us a little bit of a higher paragon degree. All right, there we go. Now we just need to save up a little bit more money for our glaive dominus. Now for our glaive dominus, we'll probably end up sacrificing a little bit of money in order to get a little bit of a higher paragon degree. But we probably shouldn't sacrifice too much. That way we can get a Goliath Doom ship for the tier 5 boss. So round 99, let's go ahead. We'll sacrifice 178,000 to our glaive dominus, and that is going to give us paragon degree 32. And that should be more than enough for the boss, right? And yeah, we melted the tier 4 boss. So now let's go ahead. We'll grab ourselves the flying fortress, and then we'll also go ahead and give our flying fortress jungle drums, as well as we'll give it a monkey intelligence bureau. And then we might as well start buying the other monkey aces that we're going to need for the Goliath Doom ship. All right, so here we are on round 119. Let's go ahead and start selling all of our farms now. Because we need to go ahead and make enough space to buy the other monkey aces that we're going to need in order to boost up our Goliath Doom ship. And man, I really messed this up really bad. Like, I didn't buy an ultra boost. Like, our farming was off. So we definitely need to do a much better job when we move on to the elite lich. And I don't know what it is. Every time I play up against the elite lich, I always end up like riding the struggle bus really hard. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and buy myself a couple of debuffing towers. So we'll grab ourselves the sniper, we'll grab ourselves the super brittle, we'll grab ourselves the elite sniper to go ahead and increase our cripple Moab's firing speed. And then we'll also grab ourselves the glue gunner too. Now, I think this is a little bit overkill, but it's fine. All right, so we have all of these monkey aces upgraded to 220s. Now, let's go ahead and buy our Goliath Doom ship. And then, wait, before we do that, let's go ahead and sell this. And then we have all the towers that we need, so we can sacrifice the maximum amount of money that we can to our Goliath Doom ship. So we ended up with paragon degree of 56, so not a bad combo, not a bad combo at all. So hopefully this is enough. Oh yeah, dude, we have more than enough hopping power to deal with the boss. We'll go ahead and activate the glue storm to give us a little bit more popping power up against the boss. And yeah, the boss isn't even halfway through the map yet, and we've already done this much damage for the boss. I actually activated the Goliath Doom ship ability at the wrong time. But there we have it, dudes. So we have officially beaten the tier 5 normal lich boss. So now that we've beaten the normal lich, we'll go ahead and save the elite lich boss for tomorrow. But anyway, dudes, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.